All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the absolute driving force of numerology, the number one. This is the energy of creation, of pure ambition, of, well, solar power. If you've ever had that feeling deep down that you were born to lead, you are definitely in the right place. So let me ask you this. Think about it for a second. In a group, do you just naturally find yourself taking charge? Do you trust your own gut feeling over what everyone else is doing? If you're nodding along right now, you might just be tapped into the powerful frequency of the number one.
You see, at the very heart of the number one is its ruler, the sun. It's the perfect metaphor, right? Just like the sun is the center of our solar system, pulling everything into its orbit and radiating life, a number one person naturally becomes a central force in their own world. They just draw people and action to them. So what it all boils down to is this. Number one is the spark. It's the very beginning of everything. And a person, that energy shows up as seriously powerful leadership and a fierce, fierce independence. It's having the guts to be the first one to do something, to blaze a totally new trail. And we're about to unpack all of it.
Okay, so we've got this idea of solar power, but what does that actually look like in a person? How does it show up day to day? Let's break down the core strengths that make the number one personality so incredibly driven. First up, and this is a big one, is a deep, deep sense of independence. A number one doesn't really follow the crowd. They have their own internal compass, and they trust it completely. Now, this isn't about being a rebel just for the sake of it. It's about having this core confidence in their own judgment, even if it means they end up walking a path all by themselves. And what's fueling that independence? A whole lot of ambition. Number ones have this internal fire, this desire to succeed and really make their mark on the world. And it's not just wishful thinking either. It's backed up by a genuine, solid belief in their own abilities, which gives them the confidence to aim way higher than most people. And here's where it gets really interesting. That ambition often comes out through pure creativity. See, number ones aren't just leaders who can follow a plan. They're the innovators who draw a completely new map. They absolutely thrive when they can bring fresh ideas and original ways of thinking to the table. So when you pull all of these pieces together, the picture becomes crystal clear. You've got a true trailblazer. Their natural leadership is guided by an independent mind. Their ambition is fueled by creativity. And the glue holding it all together, a rock-solid willpower that means when they set a goal, you can be pretty sure they're going to hit it. Now, with a personality this dynamic, it's probably no surprise that a huge area where number ones really come alive is in their career. So where do they thrive? Well, the answer is pretty simple. At the top. You see a common thread in all of these, right? It's all about leadership and autonomy. Whether they're an entrepreneur building a company from nothing, a manager guiding a team to success, or a creative genius carving out a brand new niche, a number one is just built to be in charge of their own destiny. In this quote, it nails it. A number one personality feels completely stifled, totally boxed in when they're working under someone else's tight control. Their real potential, their true brilliance is only unlocked when they have the freedom to lead, to innovate, and to be the boss. Okay, let's shift gears. We've talked about work, but let's get personal. Because all of that incredible strength and confidence, well, it can be a bit of a double-edged sword, especially when it comes to relationships. There's a light side and, a shadow side to all that solar power. And you can see that duality right here. On the light side, a number one is an incredibly loyal and strong partner who really thrives on appreciation. But, and this is a big but, if that solar energy isn't balanced, the shadow side can start to creep in. Confidence can curdle into arrogance. Leadership can become dominating. And that powerful will, it can harden into pure stubbornness. So this brings us to the key challenges for a number one to master, the things they really need to work on. And honestly, the biggest hurdle is often the ego. That powerful sense of self, if it's left unchecked, can make it really, really hard to truly listen to other people's opinions. And that can show up as impatience or stubbornness, major roadblocks on the path to becoming a truly wise leader. All right, let's switch gears for a second and just have a little fun. Let's look at the lucky elements that go with number one. You've got the numbers that vibrate on that same frequency, like 10, 19, and 28. Your lucky day, Sunday, which makes perfect sense. It's the sun's day. And the colors? Of course, they're the warm, vibrant colors of the sun itself, gold, yellow, and orange. So knowing the strengths and knowing the potential pitfalls,
How does a number one find true balance? How do they learn to lead not just with raw power, but with real wisdom? Because that is the ultimate path to mastery.
You know, it really comes down to three crucial steps. First, you have to balance that leadership with humility, knowing your strengths, but having the grace to actually listen. Second, learning to grow through other people by genuinely considering what they have to say. And finally, and this is the most important one, you have to make the shift from controlling to inspiring, because a true leader doesn't just create followers, they create other leaders.
And that really leaves us